Hello and welcome to News Update. I'm Moses Humphrey. The Executive Secretary of the National University Commission, NUC, Abubakar Rashid, a professor, has stepped down from the head of the university's regulatory body. This is effective from June 30, which means Mr. Rashid will stop being the head of the NUC. He assumed the position in 2016 when he took over from Chiedu Mafiana, also a professor who headed the commission in an acting capacity. Mr. Rashid reportedly announced his resignation in Abuja yesterday while presenting the approval certificate to a new university in Kogi State. Meanwhile, Mr. Rashid's decision is coming a few weeks after President Bola Tinubu approved the dissolution of governing boards of agencies and parastatals of the government, by which but with a few exceptions. President Bola Tinubu is scheduled to fly in from London today ahead of Eid al-Kabir celebrations. The presidency had on Saturday said the president headed for the UK from France, where he had been attending a summit for a new global financing pact hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. Confirming the day of his arrival, the president would return to his private Ikoyi home in Lagos later today to observe his first Salah celebration as president. Benue state government has paid civil servants in the state their salaries for the first time in 7 months. The chief press secretary to the governor of Benue, Teso Kula, while confirming the development, said workers were paid their salaries for May on Sunday. Also, he stated the June's salary will also be paid very soon. Mr. Kula mentioned that the previous administration was owing workers' salaries for several months, even though it was the previous administration that owes the money. The governor understands that the civil servants worked for this money. He also stated that once the salary for June is paid, the papers will be looked at so they can come up with what to do about the other months owed. During a state broadcast to commemorate Democracy Day, Governor of the state, Hyacinth Alia, had promised to commence payment of salaries to state civil servants beginning from June 25. Cross River State Police Command has confirmed the discovery of the corpses of 3 medical students involved in the Marina Resort boat mishap in Calabar. The State Commissioner of Police, Giangon Grima, told journalists yesterday that the bodies recovered included those of 2 males and 1 female. Recall that 3 students were missing while 11 others, under the aegis of the Nigeria Medical Students Association, NIMSA, were rescued on Saturday after a speedboat capsized at the Calabar Resort. It was gathered that the passengers were on a boat cruise when the mishap occurred around 3 p.m. Some of the medical students were said to have come from universities across the country to attend the NIMSA Annual Health Week in Calabar and wanted to explore the city. The students were said to have visited the Marina Resort for a boat cruise following the incident. The Cross River State Governor, Basiotu, ordered an investigation into the cruise boat mishap involving the medical students. He charged security and rescue agencies as well as local villagers involved in the operations to find the missing students and reunite them with their families. The Commissioner of Police said the bodies of the missing students were recovered by the locals with the help of the Marine Police. He added that the bodies have been taken to where they will be preserved until the state government decides on what to do next. Harvard professor Dr. Mohammed Ali Pate, who has held top health jobs in Nigeria, has relinquished his top job at the Gavi Global Vaccine Alliance. Now, this was announced by the organization yesterday. Dr. Pate is a medical doctor trained in internal medicine and infectious diseases. Gavi had announced in February that Dr. Pate was due to assume the helm on August 3, taking over from U.S. medical epidemiologist Seth Berkley, who had been in charge since 2011. But Dr. Pate informed Gavi that he has taken an incredibly difficult decision to accept a request to return and contribute to his home country, Nigeria. Gavi's chief operating officer said Malo will instead assume the position of interim chief executive officer while a search for a new CEO continues. However, Gavi Vaccine Alliance is a non-profit organization created in 2000 to provide an array of vaccines to developing countries. And in business, the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, has said that the federal government should adopt a multi-dimensional approach, including dealing with oil theft, to boost foreign exchange inflows and strengthen the naira. The Director General of NECA, Mr. Wale Smart Oyemide, who recommended this yesterday in a press conference, announcing the upcoming second edition of the Employers Summit in Lagos, while explaining why the summit focused on trade and non-oil exports. Oyemide said historically, the Nigerian economy was buoyant during the pre- and post-independence years because of huge earnings from non-oil exports like cocoa, cotton, groundnut, palm oil, and so on. And on the foreign scene, Pakistan has summoned the U.S. Embassy's Deputy Chief of Mission to express concern and disappointment over a last week's joint statement by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and U.S. President Joe Biden that called on Islamabad to ensure its territory was not used as a base for terrorist attacks. Pakistan urged the U.S. to refrain from issuing statements that may be construed as encouraging of India's baseless and politically motivated narrative against Pakistan. India-US strongly condemned cross-border terrorism and the use of terrorist proxies and called on Pakistan to take immediate action to ensure that no territory under its control is used for launching terrorist attacks. They called for the perpetrator of the 26/11 Mumbai and Pathankot attacks to be brought to justice. Pakistan immediately protested the joint statement, calling it contrary to the diplomatic norms. The country's foreign officer had also expressed surprise at the statement, considering Pakistan's close counterterrorism cooperation with the U.S. However, the U.S. State Department spokesperson Matt Miller reacted to Pakistan's démarche during his daily news briefing. Miller said that while Pakistan had taken important steps to counter terrorist groups, Washington advocated for more to be done. And that's the news update on VOP TV. We'd like you to subscribe and engage us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV, and on other social media channels, it is VOP TV Live. I'm Moses Humphrey.